Welcome to
Good
Pop
to see
Primitive.
you. I'm so excited. PD Beats.
I
Not
am
in
so
flesh, but
excited.
I can
We're
see it.
getting more. This is a new Final Destination movie. Like, how crazy is
Should we
this?
have a screaming competition right now or something? Because I'm like, let's go.
I, I mean, we could. I mean, it's. I'm sure it's been a crazy week. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I
Thank
mean,
you.
yes, death is coming for everyone. We know that with Final Destination, but really cool, right? Unique kind of like focal point on the family flashbacks. What was that like
Yeah.
getting those new components from the Final Destination franchise that we haven't seen before in the script and see it come to life on screen, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, the whole family aspect kind of just gives it a different spin. For the people who have been following the franchise forever, I think it's like the first time, and this is what my take was when I first read the script. It's the first time that you come into a movie like the Final Destination ones, and you're rooting for the characters.
Yeah.
Usually, you're rooting for death to come and like get them all, but you kind of fall in love with everybody who's attached to this, and for the first time, I think it's confused audiences to be like, wait, who are we rooting for? Why are
Yeah,
we here? What do we want?
absolutely.
What is
And
my objective?
yeah, every Final Destination film has those characters that you enjoy more than others, right? That's like I
Yeah,
feel like a big thing with those films.
yeah, but in this one, I don't think it's that at all. I think everyone's so lovable and they're such like 3D fleshed out real human beings that you know and love in your everyday life, which is such an interesting take on it.
Absolutely. So I
Hmm.
remember when this new film was announced, even before you
Hmm.
were cast, right? And
Yeah.
it's like people are gonna be able to see it in theaters. It is an incredible time for horror films. I mean, Final Destination, people can go do a marathon and watch them all, but I'm just curious for you from an acting storyteller perspective. What
Mhm.
do you think about working in the genre now at a time where there is a big kind of popularity and appetite for those movies?
Well, it's interesting because I feel like the Final Destination movies are kind of a subgenre of the horror genre because,
Yes.
it's not guys coming after you with knives, chasing you around. You can suspect somebody like coming at, like for you in the shower behind a shower curtain. This is something that is a feeling. Final Destination or Death in Final Destination is in the wind. It's in the air around you. It's in a power cord that you're looking at on the ground. It's in a scissor. It's in the scissors and that sit on your like office desk. So I think getting to be a part of something that plays into some like everybody's everyday life and kind of makes you fear the world around you is something that you don't really get from other large franchises or other horror movies in this genre.
I'm afraid of pianos now. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
that's a new one, right? I am
I'm,
terrified.
I'm kind
I'm
of
definitely I
afraid
was
of
already
everything.
afraid of heights, so they got
Yeah.
me there. And I'm like, oh no, now a piano is gonna follow me
Yeah,
when I'm trying not to.
there's so many like things that you're supposed to be afraid of just like as human beings and
Yeah,
now I'm afraid of like rugs and I don't even know why. Like I mean cuz
absolutely.
anything could snag you at any moment.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We're doing this interview right now, and yeah, like I'm
I
just
know.
saying.
I'm like worried for the microphone in front of your
I,
face. Like, are you
oh my
safe?
God.
Are
I
you
know
safe?
I know you try not to do this from an acting storyteller perspective, but given that we've talked about the fact that these are kind of like very like active audience member films, right? Like the
Mhm.
audience members looking at everything, all the little details of like the accidents and death creeping up. Are
Mhm.
you ever conscious of the audience member watching Final Destination Bloodlines while you're making it? Or is that something that happens a little bit after you wrap, so to speak?
I mean, well, I think that's such an interesting question. That's definitely something for after you wrap, because what's interesting about the script and about shooting a movie like this is there's so many things that you have to kind of like pay. It's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your tummy. Like there's so many things that you have to like focus on to make sure that these sequences go exactly right, and you only have a couple of times to do them
Yeah.
because they're such big stunts that you can only kind of afford to do once or twice. So but also in another vein, stepping into a role like this and stepping into a franchise that is so beloved by its fans, you walk into it being like, I want the fans to be happy with this, and I want to make sure that they get everything that they want from this movie because it's been so many years.
hmm I
Hmm.
do this thing with a lot of my friends when I get really excited. I do this thing called whispering for emphasis. You're going to be part of Final Destination marathons forever now. Isn't that crazy? crazy. Whispering for emphasis is crazy. Now we're not whispering. It's nuts.
No, it's kind of like when you do that, like crowd sound, like that's what it feels
No,
like.
it's because like it's spooky season all year round right now. Like it's
Yeah, of
crazy. Like
course.
people watch them all the time. Like
Yeah,
there's
and
always
in
time
life,
for Final Destination.
it's spooky season in life kind of too. So like, why
Yeah,
not? Let's just be scared all
absolutely.
the time.
My filmmaker hat makes me think about these things because I also make films as well. But I know there's some sequences in this film
Hmm.
where the runtime is a scene or like we are chatting with your family after the barbecue and it's like 3 or 4 minutes in runtime. But
Yeah.
that scene could have taken a couple of days to shoot, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
one scene takes a long time. When
Yes.
that happens, do they feel like their own kind of mini movie or mini project, those big scenes, long scenes, or do they feel like overall part of Final Destination Bloodlines?
I mean, I feel like each sequence in this movie I think you nailed it right on the head. It does feel like a mini movie. I mean, even if you look at the pages on the script, the description and the moments of these death sequences are so small. They're so tiny, but there's so many little things that need to be in place. But they take up like 2 pages, and it's only about like maybe 15 seconds of the movie, but the page, it's like 2 or 3 pages long of description and detail. So, I think you nailed it right on the head. I think they are kind of like mini movies in a movie.
The conversations you're going to have with the director versus your cast members are
Yes.
going to be different.
Yes.
How different are they with Final Destination Bloodlines? What are those conversations like with your director versus like your cast when you're all ready to rock for certain scenes, like the barbecue scene?
Oh my gosh. I think, well, what's so interesting about our cast is that everybody's just, I don't know if it was something that we did in our auditions or if they were trying to like flesh out people who are good at improv, but coming into a scene with just our cast, we were like, all right, let's get to from point A to point B. Let's go. Let's do it. My conversations with my directors were like, how do we do this? Like, how are we gonna take 3 pages of description and detail of like a death sequence, like I said earlier, and put it on its feet. Also, other conversations. I was having so many conversations. They're probably tired of me. Our directors Zach and Adam, just about bringing these characters and bringing Stefanie to life. As we know, like I'm a Filipino actor, so I got to really be a part of the conversation, and they invited me to be a part of the conversations of building the world around what a Filipino family looks like by having specific art on the walls, like wooden spoons. I don't know what it is about wooden spoons and forks for Filipinos that say, let's put this on our kitchen wall, or the kinds of foods that we're eating. And I actually created like a PDF crash course on like the things that you'd find in homes, the things that we say to each other, the things that we eat. And yeah, I know, I really put my college hat on for this role.
No, absolutely.
Whole project.
Perfect segue to my last question. It was almost like
Uh-huh.
you knew. It was almost like you knew what I was going to ask you,
I'm
which is
kind of
crazy.
psychic. It's why I booked the role.
I mean, so much happens before you officially go to camera on Final Destination Bloodlines.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you kind of just said, figuring it
Mm-hmm.
out,
Mm-hmm.
preparation. So, from an acting storytell perspective, you could see it as 2 journeys: before
Yeah,
filming and after filming. Or
absolutely.
did it feel like one big journey with multiple steps in between?
No, I think it's 2 different journeys, but also I guess one huge journey. I mean, I really compare it to Olympic athletes or people who are training to give perspective to people. You don't just show up to a race and run it when you're in the Olympics. There's so much that you have to work out and work on before you even get to that race. So. My responsibility as an actor is to do all this homework and kind of like map out who my character is and how to follow her character arc, just because you shoot out a sequence, it's hard to remember where you are on the day, but there's like a whole bunch of prep that goes into it. Even for the physical aspects and the stunts, I was doing things like free diving training for underwater sequences, just to make sure that I was in the best shape mentally and physically to be able to do such a demanding role.
Wow.
Hmm.
No, that's incredible. That's its own journey too. Those
Yeah.
lessons. Amazing.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait for people to see Final Destination Bloodlines
Me
in
too.
theaters. I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much for your time. It was so great chatting with you.
I'm so happy that we got to chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.